There's so many videos about the 2-week Minecraft phase out there, and the reason these are blowing up is mostly down to 2 reasons. Firstly, people want some kind of motivation to keep playing, as they feel guilty about quitting their Minecraft server after 2 weeks. Or secondly, and very similarly, they've already quit and want to discuss the phenomenon with others, both of which I think come from a desire to get back to the good old days of playing Minecraft, back when they enjoyed it more than they do now. However, I do think one of the big reasons why people don't enjoy it as much anymore has nothing to do with Minecraft. But I'll come back to that, because before that, I think everyone's looking at this the complete wrong way. You know, at the end of the day, this is a game, something that's supposed to be fun. If you don't feel motivated to play, what is the point in forcing yourself to do so? As I said, it can be a little disappointing that you don't enjoy it as much as you did, and I think that's why people try to push themselves to play, even when they don't really want to get back to those good old days, especially when they see a lot of people here on YouTube still enjoying it. But if you've played this game for years, for some people it's a decade or even more, maybe it's not so surprising that vanilla Minecraft especially just isn't as interesting to you anymore. You know, maybe next time give a world with a few mods a try. There's an insane number of them out there, so why not just give a couple a go? Mix things up a bit. Personally, my friend group has done about 5 annual vanilla servers and maybe 2 or 3 modded ones as well. And by far the most fun I've had was on our most recent vanilla server. And why is that? Well, my best guess is that's because that was actually the one I spent the least time on per day. So between working full time, having a relationship, going to the gym, playing volleyball and running my main channel, I was only spending around 5 to 10, maybe 15 hours max on some of my less productive weeks on the server, compared to more like 50 or even more on some of the older ones. However, the total time I played on that one is definitely way higher, because I played on it for way longer as I enjoyed it more. Now, by comparison, there was one server I actually stopped playing on after 2 or 3 days because I just didn't feel up to it, right? And then came back in a few weeks for the End Dragon fight, where I distinctly remember getting the achievement for firing a bow for the first time. I then ended up playing loads afterwards though, right? And the reason why is pretty simple. I just didn't feel up for it initially, and then I did afterwards. And that's okay. However, I want to go back to that other reason I mentioned at the start, and that's that I'm just happier as a person now than I was back then. Because the harsh truth is, and I'm sure anyone my age will agree with this, that gaming can only be your whole life for so long before it isn't particularly satisfying. You know, it is what it is. When you're younger, you can play games all day without ever getting bored or anything like that. When you're older, you need other things in your life. You know, if you've seen any of my videos on my main channel, you know, I'm not saying you need to stop entirely. There's always one person who comments this, no matter how many times I say that. But I think if it's the only thing you do, then you would benefit from starting to do some new things alongside it. Nostalgia can be nice and it can be fun to return to things you did as a child, but if you truly think, oh, that was the last time I was happy, then maybe that's what you should be focusing on instead. Because back then you didn't think, oh, these are the good days, I'm gonna look back at this and think I was so happy. You just kind of existed, right? And your future self is probably looking at you right now and either thinking, ah, those were the good days. I remember when I used to be able to just do this. Or, I wish he or she had done X, Y, and Z, right? Which is another feeling that we've all experienced. Because there probably are things you want to do, which you would enjoy just as much or more as you used to enjoy Minecraft. So go and do them, because if you read that message after you leave the end, you'll find out that's exactly what you're supposed to do next.